Okay, so this is our new Newton scooter project. It's a little bit different than the normal projects because many people do cars, but we decided to take a different route this time and do a balloon. Now, this balloon is based off of a design I found on the internet on a website called Balloon Explorium. It is a 6-foot-long tissue paper hot air balloon. It uses these different parts called gores. Each gore is made up of 4 sheets of 20 by 30 tissue paper glued together into large rectangles, and then the gores were cut out with a template I made. It took a very long time to make, but I think the results are going to be worth it.
This is the other half of this contraption. While the balloon is what will be flying, this is a bit of a background device. The idea is that while we will be getting a lot of heat from our propane burner that will be propelling this, the heat is not going to be very directed. It's going to get out of area, and it's not going to go straight up, and it's going to radiate out. So what this is really, it's a cross between a chimney and an oven. This was originally a wire basket that was covered in a layer of silicone, and over a couple of hours, whereas I went around and completely covered in tin foil with a little bit of hot glue to sustain it. If this works right, we'll get our fire coming up here, and it will reflect off of the tin foil, intensifying the heat and keeping it into a very, very thin beam. It means it can come out of this area, which is where the balloon will be, thus propelling it.
Propane is on. Come on.
Ignition. We have it. Are you blind?
Almost have it. Oh, we do. I am a little bit blind, and I just killed it. Alright. Okay, it's on high. Dude, this is cool.
Chimney up.
I can feel the air coming out of it. Whoa, whoa, whoa!
We have takeoff!
So
Is it just over 5 meters? Or depending on how exactly you want to count it. So 5 meters is what we'll go with.
And then once it hit 5 meters, a hole got ripped in the side, so fun.
And here's this beautiful hole. We'll patch this up for class. So Skyler, if you could have done anything differently, what would it have been?
I think the wind was a major issue here. Basically the wind killed it. It just got, like, a huge gust just came and just ripped the hole straight inside. That was a problem. Second, we needed a bigger ladder for when we were getting it set up, because I think the whole funnel thing, the funnel worked very, very well. It did its job very well. I know, like, people who are watching this aren't going to be able to feel it, but the heat at the top of it was very, very good. It was doing a great job. But we needed a bigger ladder to do it effectively, because I was sort of, like, barely strangling the hold it. Or just, like, a taller person. Alright, so what could have you done differently, made it fly better?
I would have said, again, definitely with the wind, but overall a different testing site could have been more effective. If you could see, the string was barely above of the chimney, and if we had gotten a more better incline, and it could have gone probably farther because as it's bringing up, and the greater the incline, and the more force it's going to be able to propel forward. But definitely, I would say the wind was a big problem. Now, how did building this giant balloon go? How was a personal experience? How did that go?
As a personal experience, it was a huge, 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 huge pain. First I had to get all this stupid tissue paper and glue it all together. And tissue paper is fragile and stupid, and it kept ripping, and it was annoying. And then when I got that done, the cats came up and tried to rip it to pieces because they're like, oh, shreddy things. Wonderful. Let's just rip apart this hour-long project. And after that, I had to cut off the tissue paper, and I actually ended up ripping holes in that while I was cutting it, which I had to patch, and then I had to glue the whole stupid thing together. And then finally, I glue it together, and the cat goes after it again, almost rips a hole straight down the side. Finally, it's done. It's hanging up in the garage. But it was all worth it.
Well, how long did that take you, the entire process from start to finish?
8 hours.
8 hours? Okay.
Over a period of 3 days.
3 days? Alright. Very nice. Did you like the finished effect visually? Did it look appealing?
Yeah. I wish I could have found a way to put some decals on the side, but I just didn't think there was time. And anything that you put on that tissue paper to weigh it down would completely mess it up.
Good. Tyler, how about your construction experience?
I will say that it was a little bit easier than the tissue paper, being that I had a bit of a frame to start with. I will admit, I did not build that wire basket out of paper clips. I found that, but from the point of wrapping it in tin foil and getting it to layer up just nicely. I think it worked out pretty well. It wasn't the nicest thing to do, and it was a bit time consuming, but overall it definitely was more effective than it's worth.
Yes, I think it was. You did a great job on that. I think that's the most important part.
Most important part is, did you have fun?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
My favorite part was when the balloon fell over and got a hole ripped in the side.
That was sad, man.
More funny.
Last question. If someone else were to do this, what would be your one suggestion for how they could do it better?
Don't do it because ours is better than yours.
Said like a true professional. Thank you, and good night.
Good night.
Hello.
LB1 Productions.